Zoroastrianism is an incredibly perplexed religion that is facing the threat of extinction. As the oldest monotheistic religion, Zoroastrianism predates religions such as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. But what makes Zoroastrianism the religion that it is today? And what are the essential beliefs of Zoroastrians? Zarathustra, the prophet. Tradition states that his life was full of unusual miracles. He was trained to be a priest, left his parents' home at 20, and 10 years later he had a revelation. The Zoroastrian god Ahura Mazda came to him and bestowed his infinite wisdom. Now, before I begin discussing the key spiritual figures in Zoroastrianism, the main concept to take note of is cosmic dualism. Dualism refers to the presence of two opposing forces in the universe. Cosmic dualism specifically identifies elements like the cosmos, earth, heaven, and hell. Essentially, this is a moral understanding of good versus evil. To highlight the prominence of dualism, I'll be going through the different figures in Zoroastrian mythology and worship. Ahura Mazda is the ultimate god. He is the one that Zoroaster met with. Ahura Mazda is self-created, omnipresent, and omniscient. He is the wisest one, having known everything and created everything. Amisha Spenta is part of Ahura Mazda. This part accounts for 6 celestial beings. These celestial beings help convey the overall philosophical perspective that Zoroastrians have. The first of these 6 beings is Vahumana. Vahumana represents enlightenment and wisdom. It is said that those who marry and have a family have more Vahumana than those that are ascetic and celibate. In the material world, Vahumana protects the animal kingdom. Ashavaishta represents moral order and law. He represents fire in the material world, and because fire is such a sacred symbol to Zoroastrians, being devout to Ashavaishta shows tremendous devotion towards Ahura Mazda. Kshatra Vaira represents power and sovereignty, essentially obedience to the religion. In the material world, he represents the sky, the protector of warriors, and, ironically, molten metal. Spenta Armadi represents faith and devotion. Within the material world, she represents the earth and specifically protects herdsmen and farmers. Harvatat and Amartat are usually associated together because they are the promised reward after death. Harvatat represents health and protection and is water in the material world. Amartat represents immortality and life and is vegetation in the material world. These are all the beings that characterize and represent one side to the overall dualistic composition of Zoroastrianism. But to balance out the good of the universe comes the presence of the bad. Ahriman represents evil, and Angra Mainyu represents the evil spirit. Both energies are responsible for creating all evil forces on the earth. And for every one of Ahura Mazda's spirits created, an evil creature is made to counterbalance it. In contrast to Ahura Mazda, Ahriman is not omniscient. He's stupid, ignorant, blind, and cannot see his final defeat. In addition, 6 evil energies were created to counteract the 6 celestial beings that we discussed earlier. This fleshes out the constant presence of dualism within Zoroastrian mythology. But what happens after death? Where do we go? After the physical deceased body is placed upon the Tower of Silence, which are towers where the body is left to decompose and be purified, the soul stays with the body for 3 days, and on the 4th it goes to be judged. If the soul was representative of good thoughts on earth, they cross over into heaven. If the soul was representative of bad thoughts on earth, the soul plunges into hell. If both good and bad deeds are balanced, then the soul goes to a place called Hamstagen, which is similar to purgatory in Christianity. By understanding the lens through which Zoroastrians base their beliefs off of, we are able to understand the aspects that make this religion unique, yet also consequential to the overall trajectory of world religions.